In a quiet, sun-soaked town in Texas, Matt, a 40-year-old bus conductor, had been working the same route for nearly 2 decades. With his best friend Sam, the cheerful and ever-optimistic bus driver, by his side, Matt's days were predictable and comforting. The routine gave him a sense of purpose and connection to the community. He knew each passenger by name, their stops, and even their preferred seats. Life felt simple, safe, and steady, just the way Matt liked it. But one crisp Monday morning, the comfortable rhythm of Matt's world was disrupted. As the bus rolled into its first stop, a towering figure stepped aboard. The man was around 6'6", with broad shoulders that filled the narrow aisle. His cowboy hat, scuffed boots, and worn leather jacket gave him an air of rugged authority. As he scanned the bus with piercing eyes, the usual chatter of the passengers dissolved into silence. The man's presence was as commanding as it was intimidating. Matt, always polite and professional, approached the stranger with his ticket book. "Ticket, please," he asked, though his voice carried an uncharacteristic tremor. The man looked down at Matt with a steady gaze and replied in a deep, gravelly tone, "I don't buy tickets." The words hung in the air like a challenge. Matt hesitated, unsure how to respond. The passengers exchanged uneasy glances, their curiosity piqued. Finally, Matt stepped back, unable to press the issue. He told himself he would deal with it later, but as the bus continued its route, the incident gnawed at him. Over the next few days, the same scene repeated itself. Each morning, the stranger boarded the bus, refused to pay, and took his seat without a word. Matt's confidence began to waver. The passengers' judgmental glances felt like accusations, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was failing in his role. The humiliation was suffocating. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Matt confided in Sam. "I can't do this anymore," he admitted, his voice heavy with frustration. "Every time he gets on the bus, I feel powerless. I'm thinking about taking some time off to figure things out." Sam, always a source of encouragement, nodded thoughtfully. "Do what you need to do, Matt. But remember, you've got what it takes to handle this. Don't let one person shake your confidence." Matt decided to take a leave of absence, not to escape, but to transform. For the next 3 months, he dedicated himself to self-improvement. He joined a local gym and pushed his body to new limits. He took self-defense classes to build his physical strength and enrolled in confidence-building workshops to strengthen his mindset. Each day was grueling, but Matt's determination never wavered. Slowly but surely, he began to reclaim the confidence that had been eroded. When Matt returned to work, he was a changed man. His posture was upright, his stride purposeful, and his eyes carried a steely resolve. The timid conductor who had shrunk under pressure was gone. In his place stood someone ready to face not just the intimidating passenger, but any challenge life threw his way. A few days after Matt's return, the man boarded the bus once more. The passengers, sensing the change in Matt, watched the interaction with bated breath. Standing tall, Matt approached the man. "Ticket, please, he said, his voice firm and unwavering. The man met Matt's gaze and replied in his usual deep tone, "I don't buy tickets." But this time, Matt didn't back down. Crossing his arms, he asked, "And why don't you buy tickets? Everyone else does." For a moment, the man was silent, his expression unreadable. Then, to everyone's surprise, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a card. Handing it to Matt, he said with a faint smile, "Because I have a statewide government bus pass." The bus fell silent. Matt looked at the pass, reading its details. The man had been entitled to free rides all along. The tension, frustration, and humiliation Matt had felt for weeks suddenly seemed absurd. The stranger wasn't defying him or the rules. He was simply following them. Matt let out a soft laugh, shaking his head. The passengers, who had been on edge, began to chuckle as well. Even the man's lips curled into an amused grin. What had felt like an insurmountable challenge turned out to be nothing more than a misunderstanding. Later that day, As Matt reflected on the ordeal, he realized how often we let small issues grow into overwhelming problems in our minds. Like Matt, we sometimes create mountains out of molehills, letting fear and insecurity cloud our judgment. Most challenges, when faced with clarity and confidence, are far less daunting than they seem. This story serves as a reminder that true strength doesn't come from physical power alone, but from mental resilience and the ability to confront situations calmly and rationally. By stepping away and focusing on self-improvement, Matt not only regained his confidence, but also learned the importance of perspective. What we perceive as a challenge or threat may not be as serious as we think. The intimidating stranger turned out to be nothing more than a regular passenger with a valid pass. Misunderstandings like these highlight the importance of clear communication and open-mindedness. Finally, this story teaches us to approach life with humility and curiosity. Instead of jumping to conclusions or letting pride dictate our actions, we should seek understanding. Most conflicts can be resolved with patience and a willingness to see things from another perspective. If you've ever experienced similar stories in your life, don't hesitate to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. We would love to hear your story.